The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. urges the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy graduates to help the country maintain its name as global figure in the maritime industry.
Defense Secretary Gilbert Teodoro says the armed forces of the Philippines would expect reshuffle as next Chief of Staff assumes office.
The Philippine Weather Bureau Pagasa monitors the low-pressure area that may develop into tropical cyclone within 24 hours.
And 2 people were killed while 6 others were injured in a fatal shooting incident just hours before the FIFA Women's World Cup in Auckland, New Zealand.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Thursday, the 20th of July, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am William Theo.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Hardin Delgado.
First in the news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. urged the new graduates of the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy, or PMMA, to help his administration retain the Philippines' good standing in the global maritime industry. Nel Maribohok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. told Madasiklan class of 2023 graduates of the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy, or PMMA, this year to help the country maintain its name globally in the maritime industry. In his message to the 224 cadets during the PMMA's 200th commencement exercises in San Narciso, Zambales, President Marcos encouraged them to continue doing everything with the same amount of passion and resilience they have shown during their time in the PMMA.
Whatever challenges you may face, be open to how you can live up to your class name. Magigiting na may dangal at simbolo ng kawal ng karagatan.
He directed all government agencies concerned for a whole-of-government approach to help the PMMA and the Philippines in keeping abreast of the developments in the global maritime industry.
I call on all the concerned agencies to coordinate closely with the PMMA, facilitate what will make our maritime education even more responsive to the needs of the nation, while ensuring that whatever steps that we take will be in compliance with laws and regulations.
The President also emphasized that the success of the Philippine maritime industry would mean good investment that will bring breakthroughs not only for the graduates, but also for their families, for the Filipino people, and for the Philippines. PMMA, the pioneer institution in maritime education in the country, has produced for years many master mariners, chief engineers, shipping executives, naval and coast guard officers, educators and trainers now serving in marine and maritime related industries in the country and abroad. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Center for People Empowerment and Governance, or CENPEG, says President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. failed to address important issues in the country. The group provided 5 ratings to the performance of President Marcos's first year in office. These include politics, good governance, economy, foreign relations, and climate change. Some of the reported failures of the Marcos administration are not condemning the alleged extrajudicial killings of the past administration. Second is the delayed appointment of heads for the Department of Health, Department of National Defense, and Department of Agriculture. It also includes the alleged placement of cronies in the cabinet, the no significant results in the investigation of the alleged involvement of a PNP general in illegal drugs, and the creation of the Maharlika Investment Fund, which raised concerns recently. However, the Republic Act 11953, also known as the New Agrarian Emancipation Act, is a good achievement for the government, as it excludes the 57 billion pesos amortization debt of agrarian reform beneficiaries.
On a scale of 1 to 10, we unanimously agreed that we will award President Marcos during his first year a rating of 5, no? Parang pasang-awa, no? Well, in fairness, in terms of formal laws passed, the condonation of the huge debt of our farmer beneficiaries under the Land Reform Act, is a step in the right direction.
Meanwhile, the Philippine National Police, or PNP, is 100% ready to secure the second State of the Nation address, or SONA, of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. PNP Chief Police General Benjamin Acorda Jr. said they will deploy 22,000 law enforcers on Monday, July 24. PNP Civil Disturbance Management Team are ready in all possible scenarios that may transpire on June 24. General Acorda ensures that the cops will exercise maximum tolerance but will not tolerate or have second thoughts on arresting the unruly group or individuals. General Acorda appeals to protesters to respect the uniformed personnel of the police.
I'm appealing to our fellow Filipinos who will be doing these rallies to make sure na sana naman ay in the exercise of their rights, wag naman maapakan yung karapatan ng ibang tao. Pati na rin kasama na rin yung kapulisan natin.
The Department of Justice urges witnesses of the war on drugs not to fear to come forward. Dante Almento tells us why.
The Department of Justice, or DOJ, denounced the statement of the International Criminal Court, or ICC, prosecutor that there is no alleged genuine investigation in the country on the war on drugs by the previous Duterte administration.
Error in judgment yun. Ang legal system natin relies on evidence.
Justice Secretary Crispin Boying Rimulya said that the government is utilizing all possible means to prosecute the suspects. However, the prosecution's evidence is not enough due to lack of witnesses.
Marami tayong sinusubukang kausapin. May mga kausap tayong NGO na sinigap nating pumasok ang NBI at kausapin ng mga pamilya ng biktima. Pero umaatras pagdating ng panahon, umaatras sila
The DOJ meanwhile calls on those who have information about the war on drugs crimes to come forward. Rimulya assures that they will be given protection and all the information they will be providing remain confidential.
We will offer witness protection sa lahat ng gusto na kinakailangan ng witness protection pag sila ay tumistigo sa bagay na ito.
The DOJ also urges the ICC to reconsider its decision over the appeal of the Philippines to stop the investigation over the government's drug war and recognize the Philippines' unwavering commitment to uphold the rule of law and the pursuit of justice. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, sitting as the National Board of Canvassers, issued a certificate of proclamation to former Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, Secretary Erwin Tulfo as the third nominee of the ACT-CIS party list today, July 20. There was no temporary restraining order, or TRO, from the Supreme Court against his nomination. Tulfo said there is no hindrance now for him to sit as one of the representatives of ACT-CIS. He is expected to take his oath before House Speaker Martin Romualdez on Monday after the State of the Nation address, or SONA, of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.
No, totally. I can attend SONA on Monday, so I can start probably, not probably, but I can definitely start attending sessions, committee hearings, and then most importantly, yung filing ng mga bills, which I have a lot to file within the next few days.
And for the news abroad, Russia has launched an attack on Ukraine's Black Sea port after terminating the Sea Corridor Agreement for grain supplies. Jane Robles details why.
Russia launched an attack on the Odessa region on Monday after pulling out of an agreement that guaranteed the safe transit of Ukraine's exports through the Black Sea. According to Ukraine's Prosecutor General's office, 10 individuals were injured, including a 9-year-old boy. Grain terminals, as well as industrial facility warehouses, shopping malls, residential and administrative buildings, cars were all damaged. President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Russian terrorists intentionally targeted the grain deal's infrastructure and vowed not to be intimidated. He also added that every missile launched by Russia is an attack on everyone who wants a normal and secure life, not just on Ukraine. Meanwhile, from midnight on Thursday morning, Moscow time, Russia said it would examine all ships traveling to Ukraine's Black Sea ports as potential carriers of military supplies. According to Russia's defense ministry, flag states of ships entering Ukrainian ports will be considered parties to the conflict on the Ukrainian side. However, the defense ministry did not specify what actions it might take. Jane Robles, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen.
Thank you, Giona. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. Days before the second State of the Nation address of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., a labor leader hopes the president will push for the proposed 150 peso across-the-board minimum wage hike. Calyodi de Guzman says the 40 peso wage increase in Metro Manila does not commensurate with the current inflation.
Kayang-kayang ibigay at huwag kaming lokohin na para bang pagka ibinigay, malulugi ang mga kapitalista. Dahil yung perang 150, pag ibinigay sa mga manggagawa, hindi naman ibabaon sa lupa ng mga manggagawa yun. Ang gagawin ng mga manggagawa doon, ibibili ng mga produkto ng mga kapitalista yon. Kaya babalik ulit sa kanila. At sisigla ang merkado at mag-create ulit ng panibagong trabaho yan.
The Senate leadership has committed to push for the proposed measure when session resumes this month. While in April, a counterpart bill was also filed in the House of Representatives. Meanwhile, de Guzman also wants the president to support the enactment of a law prohibiting political dynasties in the country, noting that corruption has long been the root cause of suffering of Filipinos.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, announced that they will start issuing violation tickets to riders taking shelter under flyovers or footbridges starting August 1st. JP Nunez details why.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, fears that if motorcycle riders continue to seek shelter under footbridges or flyovers during rain, it might result to an accident. To avoid this, the MMDA plans to strictly implement a 500 peso fine for those riders taking temporary shelter under overpass starting August 1.
Nakikita po natin na halos sinasakop na po yung buong karsada na wala na hong halos madaanan. At ito po ay unsafe and nakakakos po ng sobrang traffic.
However, the agency said they will still give consideration or grace period to riders before their traffic personnel issues a ticket. They will allow those riders to temporarily seek shelter under footbridges and overpasses if they will only wear their raincoats.
Rest assured na bibigyan po namin ng reasonable time. Yung talagang kung sa tingin naman po ng aming mga enforcers, at yan naman po ay i-remind namin, pagdating niya, bumaba siya, kinuha niya yung raincoat sa kanyang compartment, isinuot niya, nag-ayos siya ng sarili niya, nag-helmet siya, hindi naman yung taking yung sweet time niya. Papayagan naman po namin.
Earlier today, MMDA convened with ride-hailing companies to discuss the implementation. MMDA Acting Chairman Attorney Don Artes asked ride-hailing companies to help them discipline their partner riders, and they have committed to support the plan of the MMDA.
tama sinasabi ni Chairman, no? Lahat naman ng pagkakataon nandoon para magkaroon ng balance, no? Ng lahat ng mga road users, no? Safety para sa lahat, hindi lang sa mga mananakay, kundi pati din sa mga riders natin.
Kung patuloy nilang nilalabag yung mga pagiging obstruction sa kalsada, may mga sanctions na nararapat dyan. Pwedeng suspension o pwedeng dismissal pa sa ating platform.
Re-reinforce po namin yung reminder sa mga drivers about traffic rules and regulations. Magsasend din po kami ng mga communications sa kanila about this particular topic na pinag-usapan po natin ngayon. And siguro yung mga refresher trainings po, baka minsan nakakalimutan na po nila na may ganitong mga traffic rules and regulations. So, paiigtingin po natin yon.
The MMDA will issue internal guidelines to their traffic personnel for the strict implementation of the policy. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
As the National Learning Camp, or NLC, starts on Monday, July 24, some students who volunteered in the program are now making preparations and acknowledging the learning loss they experienced during online classes. Bernadette Tinoy will tell us why.
The Department of Education has announced that the implementation of the National Learning Camp, or NLC, will start on Monday. Some schools and teachers are now making preparations of the learning materials and the list of students who will participate in the program.
This may not be perfect dito sa unang taon ng implementation, but we know na magkakaroon ng gains ang mga estudyante.
Grade 7 student Arishan said he chose to volunteer in NLC as he doesn't have any plans for the school break and reiterates the importance of the program.
Hindi ko po napagtiisan yung pag-aaral ko nun. Puro lang po cellphone. Kahit walang magawa kami sa ngayong summer, meron pa rin kami matutunan.
Guardian Lainey said her children have already been exposed to gadgets in the past 3 years and the National Learning Camp will help them to learn on a face-to-face basis.
Maganda siya kasi iwas din sila sa pag nasa bahay lang, puro cellphone lang. At least dito, natututo pa sila.
Meanwhile, grade 7 and 8 students Carlo and Justin asserted the learning loss they experienced during online classes and are hoping to gain knowledge with the NLC implementation.
Sobrang hirap po. Hindi po masyado namin nakapag-focus sa pag-aaral because wala po dun yung teachers namin, hindi po ako makapag-aaral ng mabuti po.
Yung mga maiingay na kapaligiran and yung feeling na dapat face-to-face po and mas marami pa pong matututunan kung may nagtuturo po talaga ng face-to-face.
The NLC will start on July 24th and run until August 25. Bernadette Tinoy, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
There would be movement in the positions of the armed forces of the Philippines officials following the President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s appointment of the next Chief of Staff. Defense Secretary Gilbert Teodoro explained that this is also a result of the transition in the AFP strategy, shifting from internal security to external defense. Alan Manansala explains why.
Expect a reshuffle of positions within the armed forces of the Philippines following the assumption of the next AFP Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Romeo Browner Jr. Earlier, during a media briefing, Defense Secretary Gilbert Teodoro mentioned that the President felt that it is timely to implement changes within the military ranks, coinciding with the AFP's transition from internal security to external defense. The Secretary explained that the President attaches great importance to the West Philippine Sea or WPS issue. That is why outgoing AFP Chief General Andres Centino has been chosen to become the presidential advisor for the WPS. The promotion of Army Chief Lieutenant General Romeo Browner Jr. as the next AFP Chief will create an upward movement for military officials. The Secretary also assured that the upcoming changes will be seamless.
I would say that General Browner is the choice of the President from several choices. Of course, sinisiyasat ng Pangulo lahat.
Upon his appointment as the new presidential advisor on the WPS, General Centino stated that he needs to prepare himself for the new position.
First, the office has yet to be created.
the functions has to be defined, and the structure has yet to be crafted also. So even yung kung saan tayo mag-opisina. So these are the things that has to be studied or prepared.
Tomorrow, the change of command ceremony is scheduled for the formal assumption of Lieutenant General Browner as the new AFP chief. According to General Centino, he will pass on the new leadership a disciplined, determined, dedicated, and capable armed force that can confront all threats to the nation's security. The AFP expressed its support for the assumption of Browner as the new chief of staff, while also applauding General Centino for his accomplishments during his tenure in the AFP. Alan Manansala, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And for other global news, just hours before the FIFA Women's World Cup was to launch in New Zealand, Auckland City suffers another shooting. Paul Gatchalian will tell us why.
Two people have lost their lives and 6 others have been injured in a shooting incident that took place at around 7:20 a.m. on Queen Street, Auckland City Center by a now deceased 24-year-old gunman who was sentenced to home detention. The gunman is yet to be formally identified, but according to Andrew Coaster, New Zealand's police commissioner, the perpetrator had a history of mental health issues as a result of his family violence history. It was reported that the gunman carried around a pump-action shotgun and used a building site where he was exempted to work to move around after shooting and also exchange shots with a policeman who was injured. The 24-year-old moved to the upper levels of the building and enclosed himself in an elevator shaft where he was found to have lost his life later from either police fire or himself. Meanwhile, the Women's World Cup proceeded to continue, confirmed by the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Chris Hipkins, as there was no national security risk or threat levels. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
A newly opened building that will serve as a diamond trading center in Surat, India, has dethroned the Pentagon in the United States to become the world's largest office building. The Surat Diamond Bourse, or SDB, will be a one-stop destination for more than 65,000 diamond industry professionals, such as cutters, polishers, and traders. The 15-story complex boasts over 7.1 million square feet of floor space, accommodating 4,700 office spaces, 131 elevators, and plenty of room for dining, retail, wellness, and conferences. The Pentagon has approximately 6.5 million square feet of floor space, falling short of the SDB by around 600,000 square feet. Its grand opening was supposed to be in November 2002, but was postponed due to only receiving occupancy agreements from 400 members, on top of the delays caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Construction work by architecture firm Morphogenesis took 4 years, and the cost totaled to 32 billion Indian rupees, or almost $390 million. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Giona Pravado, live from London, United Kingdom. Good evening.
After the first year of the Marcos administration, the Health Alliance for Democracy provided an assessment of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.'s performance. According to the group, the president fails because there has been no improvement in the Philippine healthcare system, including the nurses' salaries. Gladys Tuwabi details why.
More than a year after President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. took office, the Health Alliance for Democracy observes that there have been no significant changes in the situation of health workers. Instead, the healthcare system in the country seems to have worsened. Until now, the problems of understaffing, inadequate benefits, and low salaries remain unresolved.
Bagsak kasi walang substantial na action or even steps. Kaya walang nakitang kumbaga liwanag towards sana sa tunay na pagbabago or improvement ng kalagayan ng nurses.
As the second state of the nation address or sana of the president approaches, they are hopeful to hear a promising plan for them.
Sa immediate, yun ang aming panawagan, no? Yung pagtugon sa kababaan ng sahod, pag-improve ng work conditions like yung severe and chronic understaffing, gawing regular ang mga contractuals. Kung i-absorb natin ang mga contractuals, i-employ natin mga registered unemployed nurses, masusolusyonan natin yung nakikita nating short staffing o kakulangan ng nurses natin.
It is said that the Philippines is not really lacking in the number of registered nurses. However, most of them are forced to work abroad or switch professions due to the low wages. Meanwhile, the group is not in favor of the idea of hiring unregistered nurses in hospitals to address the understaffing issue.
Hindi rin solusyon doon yung pag-hire natin ng mga unlicensed nurses dahil yung scope nga ng work, yung function ng registered nurses, hindi magagampanan ng mga unlicensed nurses. At yung ating mga registered nurses nga, mayroon na nga mga errors in medication, how much more yung mga hindi mga licensed talaga. So, dagdag ito sa pasanin ng ating mga charge nurses.
Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Philippine Weather Bureau PAGASA is still monitoring the low pressure area or LPA that is approaching the country. As of 4 p.m. today, the weather system was located at 720 kilometers east of Borongan, eastern Samar. PAGASA said that it may develop into a tropical cyclone in 24 hours. LPA will bring scattered rain showers and thunderstorms in eastern Visayas, Camarines Sur, Catanduanes, Albay, Sorsogon, and Masbate. Metro Manila and the rest of the country will experience isolated rain showers and thunderstorms.
The Philippine Senate targets to transfer to its new building beginning next year. A topping-off ceremony was held this morning at the new Senate building in Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City, a tradition which symbolizes the completion of the building's structural frame. With this, Senate Committee on Accounts Chairperson Senator Nancy Binay says they are on track with the target partial operations in July 2024. According to the senator, this is in line with Senate President Juan Miguel Big-Zubiri's instruction to conduct the opening of session next year in the new building. Binay adds the new Senate building integrates sustainable features such as energy-efficient systems, water conservation measures, and the use of eco-friendly materials. The construction of the new building was approved in 2017 amid calls from several lawmakers to relocate to a new site due to increasing space limitations. The Senate has been renting a building from the Government Service Insurance System, or GSIS, in Pasay City since 1997, spending almost 100 million pesos per year for renting fees.
Our kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God, from the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 24. It says, "And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works." And those are the reasons behind the news, July 20, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Harleen Delgado.
And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.